Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, weigh-in heads, get in on the chat. This is a very impromptu last second video, so let me get myself set up here. I told you guys I might do this because much was made about the weigh-in for this fight. I think that this is truly a matchup where it's so 50-50. Obviously, I'm talking about Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor tomorrow night in Las Vegas. It's so 50-50 with the matchup that you're looking for any kind of nuance, my favorite word, that you can find. You're looking for any kind of difference you can see in either one of these guys. Well, of course, they both weigh in at exactly 139.6. So there's nothing we could say. It's not as if one guy looked really bad. I mean, look, man, fighters look drained when they make weight. If you're a big ass dude cutting down to 140, as both of these guys are, we know that at this time next year, both of these guys are going to be at 147. So for them to look a little bit drained, no shit. But some of you guys out there, especially you guys who gamble a lot, you look at this stuff. It was such fine detail that maybe you're seeing something I'm not, because I'm not a weigh-in head. I've never paid too much attention to weigh-ins unless I saw something crazy, and I've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. I could tell you guys stories about fighters with 1 foot off the scale trying to cheat it, fighters, trainers, managers putting their foot on the scale trying to cheat it. I've seen all kinds of crazy shit. I've seen dudes trying to like rig the scale and moving things around and stuff. So, I've seen guys get naked a million times. I'm all man. I'm 100% heterosexual, but I've seen plenty of dudes naked step on the scale. I've seen it all. But with this, they both weighed at 139.6. They're calling it 139.5 on most listings. Like I just pulled up their box rack just to see, and they're calling it 139.5. But I'm looking at Taylor first, and he was 139.25 last year for Kong Song, 139.5 for Prograis. Same weight for Baranchek, 139 for Martin Postol, 139.25 for Campos, 139 for Vasquez. He hasn't officially weighed 140 since 2017 when he fought Davies. So, so much was made specifically about Taylor struggling to make weight and, being ill and everything this week. I don't know. He looked fine to me. As far as Ramirez, 139.5 as well. That's what they're calling it. It was 139.6. He was 139.75 for Postol last year. 139.5 for Mo Hooker. Same weight for Zepeda. 138.5 for Orozco. 139 for Imam. 139 for Mike Reed. So, I mean, these guys are consummate professionals, both of them, and they're both totally on weight. They both look good to me. So let's get over here to the chat. Let's see. Unrivaled says, what a good weigh-in. Hey, both guys showing up, being professionals. MGB Taco, yo, what up, my man? Michael Mendiola, Taylor looks a little better physically. All right. Most people are saying kind of the same thing. I got Ramirez, says KO Seguro. I believe he has a bit more power. All right. Soap Boxing Podcast says they both look fine. Ramirez wasn't buying none of what Taylor and his camp were selling, bro. Not a lot to read at the scales. Chad's a betting man. He says, I'm going to put 100 or 2 on Ramirez by KO. You're not alone. I know a bunch of people. Trey's on the chat. What's up, Trey? He says, Zepeda. You know what? Did Zepeda miss weight, guys? I actually was setting all this up as Zepeda was weighing in. I was listening in the background, and it sounded like they said 142. Did I mishear that? Make sure that I want to make sure I get that right. Michael Barrios, MJB Taco says, I'll be out there tomorrow. No fight as of now, though. Boo. You've been having a good time, dude. I've seen your photos you've been posting on social. William Phillips, early start for the main event on West Coast. I like the early start, dude. I think that's awesome. So for those of you who don't know, they're going to start a little earlier than normal tomorrow night, which is great. I think that works out well because they're trying to make time for, I think ESPN has an NBA game that they're showing after that. Is the NBA in the playoffs right now? I don't know if they are. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they already started their playoffs. So they don't want to go up against a playoff game, even though the NBA's ratings are in the freaking toilet. They still don't want to go up against that. So, okay. Yeah. You guys are telling me. So 140.2. So it looks like Zepeda's got to lose 2 ounces. He'll lose that, right? That to me sounds like a miscalculation on their scale in their hotel room. Look at this. Look at this fucking guy. Manny HGH, PEDs, Pacroid. Will you do a video of me on PEDs like you did on Mayweather? Goddamn, dude. There's only like 5 or 6 different people that this alt account could possibly be. For the millionth time, bro, there's actually 0 anecdotal, circumstantial, or hard physical evidence linking Manny Pacquiao to steroids. There actually is a lot of anecdotal and circumstantial, and even some, okay, let me back up. There's actually some anecdotal and circumstantial evidence linking Floyd Mayweather to performance-enhancing drugs. I won't say steroids. And then there's also some red flags. Okay, there hasn't been one red flag with Manny, although I will say Manny refusing to do testing at certain timelines and stuff, a few years back, didn't look good. Not a good look, but there's actually more circumstantial evidence linking Floyd Mayweather to wrongdoing there several times over, including returning several low TE ratios, which a professional athlete in his late 20s, early 30s shouldn't be doing. Anyway, Jack's asking if you guys want to call in. All right, yeah. Let me I can set up the phone lines. You guys have to give me a second. Boy, is this a professional podcast. I gotta get my stuff set up here, but yeah, I can open up the phones real quick. Just give me a minute to do that, and we'll make that work. But yeah, man, I didn't see any giveaways or anything like that with the weigh-ins, and both guys absolutely professional. Josh Taylor's trying to talk shit and get in Jose's head. Jose is a consummate professional. He's not going to let that shit bother him, man. He's a cool customer. I saw some people were like, man, I think that is he possibly Ramirez? Is he possibly intimidated? This, that, the other? Absolutely freaking not. That guy ain't intimidated. All right, guys, I'm going to go silent for just a second while we get the phones up. Hang on.
Thank you for calling Call-In Studios host and call screener.
Shit.
That was an invalid show number. Please re-enter your show number, followed by...
Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the Call-In Studio web interface.
All right, guys, we should be set up for phones. So if you wants to call in, we got somebody right there on the line already. All right, hold on. Let me see. All right, 317, you're on. What's up?
Yo, what's up, Mike? It's Jack. What's up?
What's going on, bro?
You said, oh, you want, he's like, oh, you guys want to call in? And I was like, who's you guys? I was the one who brought it up. I'm pretty sure other people would, but.
Oh, well, hey, I posted your comment on the chat. Can we call in, Mike? Everyone sees that it's Jack. I mean, come on. Oh, could you guys hear me when I was dialing in?
I'm driving.
You guys? You couldn't hear me? Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I thought I muted everything, but
I wasn't listening.
Okay, you know what? I think people on the chat heard it because Trey is saying invalid show numbers. All right. Anyway, go ahead, Jack. What's up, man? What did you see? For those of you asking about the call-in numbers, it's right behind me. Check it out. Boom.
Yeah, sorry. I'm driving. So, I just got parked. Just got Subway, eat fresh Montero. I'm at work. So, yeah, I just got lunch. Man, there's a bunch of things I wanted to talk to you about. It's been a while, and I don't usually have a chance to talk on the show. And one thing I wanted to talk about was the Deontay Wilder situation. Dude, also, who would you win? How badly would Vladimir Klitschko have destroyed Deontay Wilder if that fight ever happened?
Well, there's a reason why Deontay and his people demanded $10 million step-aside money if Klitschko was going to fight Stavern. I mean, you know, I can't get into too much on the record, Jack, but there was sparring sessions between those guys, and let's just say Wilder's people did not want to go there. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, there was rumors he's knocked out body shot, and like when he was asked about it, he was so fucking pissed off. Like Wilder's like, man, when's the last time Klitschko fucking knocked someone out with a body shot? And I thought that was so funny because he's right. Man, it's hard to make you laugh, Montero. Like I always try and cheer you up, but you're always, you always have that.
Well, you got, you know, sometimes I could laugh, but then dude, you gotta understand. I've got 3 screens here. I've got a mixer. I've got a phone line. I got feedback in my headphones. It's crazy doing all of this as just one person. So it's just, you know, one of those things, man, where sometimes you guys catch me off guard and I laugh my fucking ass off because you catch me with something I'm not expecting. And then other times it's like, it's funny, it's humorous, but you know, I don't break down laughing. The one thing I'm laughing at right now is everyone's saying they heard me when I called in. I'm a fucking idiot when it comes to technology, man. I just cannot figure. I thought I muted everything, but you guys heard me dial into my fucking software and everything. I just cannot do technology good.
Wait, what's wrong with that? I wasn't, because I only have my phone on me, and I'm only talking to you. I can't see the show right now because I'm just in my car.
It's just if anyone was listening, like they hear me, because like I have to like dial in and do like a host number and a PIN number and all this kind of shit. And you know, nobody wants to hear all that shit. You know, like I got to figure out. Like I know there's a way to like play music while I do that and stuff, but I just haven't figured it out.
Jesus, man, you're taking it so seriously. I don't think anyone cares.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Like,
you're probably right.
I dialed in.
You're probably right.
No, I remember one time you laughed a lot when, like, I can't remember who you had on, but this guy was like, it's kind of like walking in on your parents fucking, and you just started bursting out laughing.
I know there was that one, and Ceylon talked in a British accent once, Midwest Ceylon, and that shit cracked me up because it was so bad. Not that my British accent's any better, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, what do you think about the Wilder situation? Bro, you know, I posted that one video and a lot of people were pissed off and they're like, oh, you're hating on Wilder. That's what they always say. But nothing I said was untrue. And I even stated in the video I posted that I don't blame Wilder for wanting the 3rd fight. I get it. It's just not the fight that fight fans want. And I'm always, you know, my thing is I want what's best for the boxing industry and for the fans. And obviously that's Fury and Joshua. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I got about like a minute left before my lunch is over, so I kind of got to hurry up. But the thing is, it's obviously that Wilder only did this so he could stop that fight. It's not like why all of a sudden when the fight was announced, Fury came or Wilder came in and he was like, "Oh, I want the 3rd fight." It's just so stupid. And it's funny, dude, because like while I was like eating food, I was listening to the Neutral Corner, and then you said on it, you're like, and maybe Friday I'll do it. And I checked on YouTube. I was like, oh shit, I can go on right now.
Perfect timing for once. Perfect timing.
Yeah. One thing I gotta say though is, man, I like Deontay Wilder, but his fans, dude, are just fucking ridiculous. Like, it's just insane how retarded they are. Like, it's bad.
They are. Bad. Some of them are. I hate to say this, but some of them are just the worst fans in the sport, bro. The ones that I don't like, it's one thing if you're fanatical about a fighter and shit. Fan is short for fanatic. So I get it. Every fighter has fanatical fans. But these dudes create conspiracy theories. There's, you know, so-and-so spiked the water bottle. So-and-so's got egg weights in his, you know, all this kind of shit, man. Like that stuff is so annoying and so bad for boxing. And these guys, I posted that video in a few different places. And like some of the comments were like, man, the whole division ducked Deontay Wilder. I'm like, where the fuck do you get that from? And obviously, you know, someone who says that didn't even watch my video, but like, that's the kind of shit that drives me crazy, man. I just hate ignorant motherfuckers. I can't stand it.
Like Fart Man Boxing.
Yeah, does that dude watch boxing? I didn't know who the hell he was until this whole Wilder thing came up. That's just some guy with a Twitter account and he just says shit. But does he even watch boxing, or does he just watch Deontay Wilder? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no. Here's the thing. I remember you saw. I remember you saw it because you commented on it. The Ring IQ versus Artman boxing video. I remember he was saying like Mark Rival Boxing was like, "Are you going to do Estrada versus Chocolatito 2 poster? I just want to know."
Yeah, right.
I could do Mark, but I'm kind of in a rush here. But and then he was like, I'd rather do David Benavidez because I'm American like David Benavidez. And then a fucking Ring IQ was like, "Dude, no one here cares what you are."
Right.
It was just fucking funny. No, I think he just, I mean, dude, he's racist. I mean, I'm just going to say that right now. You don't have to say it, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, these guys, I'm not going to say it on your show, but they're mostly only like pro-black, like for pro-black fighters. And I mean, that's fine. I understand being like the same race and you want to support your guy, but at the same time, when you're making conspiracies against other guys, that's not healthy. You know what I mean? Like I support American guys when they're like, I thought for a second you kicked me off the air.
No. I'm just, I was just going to say that in fairness, those types of fans are in every demographic. I mean, there are Caucasian boxing fans that only watch Eastern European fighters, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so it's in every single demographic. But as it relates to Deontay Wilder, I understand where you're going with that. Like, you know, and that's the kind of shit that drives me crazy because there's a lot of those guys going around labeling everybody bias, prejudice, all this stuff when they're the ones who are biased and prejudiced. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They really pulled a race card, but all right, man, I got to get back to work.
All right.
Yeah, I'm so excited for the fight tomorrow.
Who you got before you go? Who you got, Jack? Who you got?
I'm probably gonna say Josh Taylor by. I remember you said split decision. That's right when I got off. You said like split decision. I think it's gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that close. I think he might even knock Ramirez out. And I like Ramirez, but I just think Josh Taylor is probably too experienced, and Jose Ramirez is overrated, in my opinion.
Really?
And I'd love to see him pull it off, but I really think Josh Taylor is gonna probably will knock him out.
All right, yeah, on the record,
and
brother.
I'm good with I'm good with predictions.
You've been known to get a few right. You've been known to get a few right.
Yes, sir. All right, man. I got to head out, but it was fun to be on, and I'll get back on next time as soon as possible.
All right, bro. Have a good one.
You too.
There he goes, guys. Jack. And let me get to the chat real quick here. Super chat pledge from The Hidden. Thank you very, very much. He says, apologies for not being on here lately. Predict Taylor by late round stoppage from a body punch. Interesting. That outcome would surprise me. Because I haven't heard anybody call that. Matthew D'Souza says the LDBC is a small group online. I'm sure there are Wilder fans who are decent. Absolutely. I want to go on record right now. Look, man, I met Deontay Wilder. Me and my wife met him before he had his world title. This goes back probably a year before he won his world title. Maybe the same. 2014. And he was just sweet, nice guy, just totally nice. Couldn't have been a more friendly, more humble, cool human being. And I've met people that were around him, and I've even trained with people that have trained with him and said that's the type of dude he used to be. And just along the line, he kind of changed. And I think that some of his fans kind of got into his head and he started kind of believing in some of that. And he just became a different dude. I don't really give a shit what he does outside the ring or what he says or any of that. A lot of his fans are awesome fans. There's a lot of, look, man, Deontay Wilder makes exciting fights. You know what I'm saying? Win, lose, or draw. Most of his fights don't suck. Most of his fights are entertaining, and the heavyweight division has needed that. So I like Deontay Wilder, but some of his fans, some, not all, some are just fucking ridiculous, man. MJB Tacos super chat shorts, dude. I gotta get Tiffany down here to bring me one. You guys don't want to see me like get out and go walk to my bar and then come back in here. You need to, dude. Text Tiffany, tell her to come bring me a short because I'm sure she'd be down. It is Friday after all, and we've both been very good lately. All right, let me jump to the phones. We got an anonymous call. Let's jump to that call real quick, and then all right, anonymous, you're on. What's up? Anonymous.
Sorry, I didn't realize the number.
Oh, it's
Sorry.
Mark. What's up,
Sorry.
man?
Oh, I'm great, man. I'm great. How's you?
Good, man. How you been?
Fantastic, man. Fantastic. You know,
Awesome.
this weigh-in, man. This weigh-in, both guys looked all right. I normally pay a lot of attention to weigh-ins due to having a bit of a gambling thing. As far as I saw it, I personally thought Ramirez looked a little bit more dry to the bone. You could see more of his skeleton. Whereas Josh had more muscles flowing, so I felt like he had a little bit more he could have given. So I reckon Josh may be a little bit more comfortable in that regard.
Okay.
But then Josh has shown this nervous, explicit energy, being very aggressive towards his opponents. He's never been like that. Baranchik, Prograis, only O'Hara Davies. Maybe it was due to the stuff to do with the whole weight conversation from Merdigan, whatever his name is, Ramirez's manager, Rick
Merdigan, yeah.
Constantly going at Josh. Yeah, he had a few things to say to Rick. But that is what it is. For anyone who's betting on the fight, right, here's my whole standpoint. I would just like to point out a couple of things because these are important things in boxing to pay very close attention to. If you feel this is going to points and it's going to be close, ask yourselves this question. Who's been with Top Rank the whole career? Who is Top Rank's most consistent ticket seller in the United States of America? Which one of these two fighters currently has more fans to gain? And the other one is, and this is probably the biggest one, which one of these fighters' country wouldn't pick up the fight? Ask yourself that.
Damn, Mark. You just dropped some fucking nuclear bombs on the chat here. Especially that last point. Because a big factor in American promoters signing quote unquote foreign fighters is the foreign TV money that comes in. And they're getting, Top Rank is getting zero on this one. They're getting money from Mexico and I'm sure other parts of the world, but they're not getting that UK money, man. And you would think that there'd be a lot involved in this fight. So that's a really good point. Really, really good point.
Now, in terms of building fighters and stuff, we know nationality is a huge part of that, right? We know it. It's a tried-proven method in our sport. And we know that the Mexican audience is deemed to be the number one in terms of paying consumer at the moment within our sport, for the most part, national-wise. And that would lead you to think that if they have a fighter they can turn into the first undisputed four-belt champion of Mexican descent, that's a huge thing. That's huge. So
yeah, because I'm trying to think.
This dude sells on 18,000 seats every time, present.
That's a great point. I'm trying to think. Has there ever been a Mexican or Mexican American completely unified champion in the four belt era?
No,
I don't think there has been. So that would be a historic.
There's only been four of them. There's only been four of them, right? Jermaine Taylor, Bernard Hopkins, Crawford, Usyk.
Yeah, in the four belt era, that is correct. So what's interesting is nobody has talked about that. And the damn, Mark, you're fucking my head up, because the fact that they haven't talked about this, because normally Top Rank would be all over that. That's all you'd be hearing. The fact that they haven't makes me suspicious.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. Plus, I don't think it's a coincidence that you remember the controversy of fans, right, Mike, from the last Ramirez fight against Postol, right?
Yes.
You remember how that was pretty much split across the board on who won that fight? It's the same three judges in charge of proceedings.
Yeah, I saw that.
Josh Taylor's never fought in front of those judges before, so they know what to look for with Ramirez. Familiarity grounds people. I'm personally hoping for a fair and even contest. I don't know who will win. My guess is just based off of the way the bone structure is. I think Taylor probably stops Ramirez in the 11th round to the body with a left hook to the liver. Southpaw's line straight up with orthodox fighters, and Ramirez leaves that right hand up as he's throwing that hook, especially in later rounds as he tires.
Yeah. The elbow wings out a little bit. Yeah, you're not the first on the chat here, because there's someone on the chat was saying body shot too. Man, that would be interesting.
Well,
I didn't even think about that.
But I will preface that with this. That's what my heart tells me. My head tells me Ramirez takes this split decision and people will be arguing for weeks.
If we see that again, because we have seen that in recent years, that we'll chop it up right here. But believe me, it's something I've considered. It's something like the fact that Taylor is the lineal champion right now, is considered the lineal champ, the Ring Magazine champ, and it's a Ramirez Taylor hashtag, and Top Rank has Ramirez first on the fight poster and stuff like that. That made me start to wonder. And then the judges, as you mentioned,
alphabetical order. That's what was in the term sheet for the posters, and then everything else would be decided on a coin flip.
I know about the coin flip. I did not know about alphabetical order. Okay, well then that takes that away. But everything else that you said is still very valid. I mean, in terms of being a ticket seller and everything else.
And it's in his country. It's in his country.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Home field.
Yeah.
So. But yeah. Anyway, thanks, Mike, for letting me call in. But yeah, for anybody who's been thinking about the fight, there's just a little bit more to digest. God bless, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. All right, there goes Mark. Man, Mark with some good stuff. I mean, yeah, everything that he said, everything he said is legit, and it's true. And these are factors. And unfortunately, these are factors we have to consider with every big fight like this. That's a 50-50 type of fight. It makes you wonder, again, I'm not a conspiracy theory kind of guy, but it makes you wonder, is the reason why this is such a small promotion and it's really, really been kind of under the radar and everything, because there's going to be some shenanigans on the cards and they don't want the entire world seeing it. I don't know, but no UK TV, that's a big deal. And I just cannot understand why one of the networks over there, I know that there's network allegiances and everything over in the UK, just like there is here in the United States and everywhere else. But for someone to not pick up this card, for you guys over in the UK, you got to get this on Fight TV. So props to Fight TV for picking it up, and you guys have to, pay for it to watch it there. But I just can't believe, even Channel 5 over in the UK didn't pick this up. That's just really, really crazy to me. Anyway, Timmy Turner on the chat asked, Mike, where do you rank the winner pound for pound? Well, good question. It's something I've talked about on my show. But a lot of it honestly depends on not just who wins, but how they win. That would be a huge factor, because if it's a controversial decision, or if it's, something where most people don't agree, I don't know, dude. I don't know how you can if somebody wins via robbery or something like that, and I hope that doesn't happen, but do you put the winner in the pound for pound list? I guess by default they're there, but how high up do you rate them? You know what I'm saying? If it's a decisive win, a one-sided decision, the winner could be in the top 5 easily. If it's a really close, classic kind of fight, like the kind of fights we had with Canelo and Triple G, then maybe both guys wind up on the pound for pound list. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple different possibilities. Matt D'Souza asked, I thought ESPN had a connection with BT Sport. I know, well, ESPN has a connection with Top Rank. Top Rank has a connection with Frank Warren. Frank Warren has a connection with BT Sport. So yes, there's a loose affiliation there. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I really do not know how the ball got dropped on this one. Super chat pledge from Carlos Cabrera. I haven't heard from you in a minute, man. Good to hear from you, and thank you. He says, what up, Mike? Just hopped on. Apparently Taylor and Ramirez, along with their teams, got into it after the weigh-in. Yeah, well, it looked like they were getting a little heated. I didn't see any. I just played you guys the Top Rank broadcast on their YouTube, but I was just going to check my phone because maybe I'll pull up my Twitter and see. But if there really was like a scuffle, I probably have a million messages on my phone right now. So if I find out something, I'll let you guys know for sure. But thanks for the super chat, bro. Look, man, it sounds like what I have noticed this week is it's been Taylor that has been aggressive with Ramirez, right? Ramirez has been real chill, but Taylor's been aggressive. There's people on Ramirez's team, though, that have been aggressive with Taylor, right? They're kind of doing the shit talking for Ramirez. So perhaps just, Taylor got into it with somebody from Jose's team or something like that. That could very well be possible. Steve in the UK says, Mike, BT do have an affiliation with ESPN. One of the BT sports channels is called BT ESPN. Well, that makes a lot of sense considering all the ties they have promotionally, with the deal with Top Rank and Grandpa Bob and Queensberry with Frank Warren and stuff. So that makes sense. I forgot about that. BT ESPN. It just doesn't make sense that they didn't pick this up, man. I don't get it. What the hell is going on over there in the UK at that time to where they couldn't pick this thing up? Makes no sense. All right, let's go back to the phones real quick. I got a few of you guys here calling in. Let's see. 951, you're on. 951, what's up?
What's up, Big Mike? This is your friend Mike in California.
Mike in California, what's up, man? How you doing, brother?
I'm good, brother. How are you, man? It's been a while. I haven't called in a while.
Yeah, man, I heard from you.
I wasn't getting the notifications I wasn't getting notifications on my thing, when the show would go on, so I had to go and reset everything. But
fucking YouTube.
Either way, I wanted to jump on. I know they're shadow banning you, man.
Fuck yeah, they do.
I wanted to just I'll be quick. I know you got a couple other calls. I wanted to give props to the guy who called before. I think his name was Mark. Great breakdowns on the fight. I too believe that Taylor, if it's a close fight, even if he wins the fight in most people's eyes, he's not going to get the decision. He's going to have to really do something special to get a decision here. And I can't say that I feel bad for the UK fighters because the same thing happens when anybody from here crosses the pond and fights over there.
That's a fair point.
I wanted to say, though, touch a little bit on your point as well about Taylor kind of being out of character. And, in the aggressiveness. And I think maybe he figured, let me kind of throw the first punch, metaphorically, because I do know that even though Garcia is at a decent level-headed guy, the people in RGBA, there are a lot of trash talkers in that camp.
Oh yeah.
At that gym, primarily his little fat son, Peter, who runs around running his yap left and right.
That dude talks shit to me all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a bit of a. I get it. I get it. His dad's a very well-known trainer, but that's the kind of guy I'd love to get in the ring and just slap around a little bit. But on the Zepeda fight, I guess I talked to his brother this morning, and they said everything looked good for the weigh-in. So that must have been, like you said, a miscalculation.
Yeah, because Sean's never been a guy that's been unprofessional like that before. I just think that was just a simple miscalculation. I mean, 2 ounces. I think he's fine.
Yeah, something was a little funky. Hopefully he'll be fine. He'll probably just run on the treadmill for 10 minutes really quick and then boom. Yeah. And then get on the scales. I'm looking forward to these fights tomorrow. Mike, are you gonna do a fight party? Or you're just gonna do the show next week?
I'm actually there's a club show out here that I'm going to tomorrow to cover for Ring. I might even be doing some ring announcing and stuff. Right. So I'm going to be working that Saturday. So I don't even know. That should get done before this, but I don't know, man. I might actually miss the fight live, which is crazy. I'm going to have to turn my damn phone off so I don't get any spoilers. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll make sure not to send you any messages.
Okay.
But yeah, we have a kid fighting. I think I mentioned that kid Max Castro's making his pro debut tomorrow in Phoenix on a small club show there for it's called Del Rio Boxing Promotions or something. But that's a kid that obviously this is his pro debut. He's fighting a guy with 21 fights in his pro debut.
Damn.
So
that's impressive.
The kid's kind of got to get that. Yeah, he's going to get fast tracked. But we'll touch base next week, man. Whatever day you do the show, I'll make sure hopefully I get the alerts now and I'll call in and kind of give you an update on how he does. I can't unfortunately go to that fight because of work commitments, but have a good weekend, Mike. It was good catching up with you. It's been a while. I'll try to get regular again, but have a great time with the fights this weekend, man. And good luck on your thing tomorrow, your gig. Do a great
Appreciate
job. I know
that,
you will.
man. Thank you.
Take care, brother. Bye.
You too, man. Oh, wow. We got a bunch of calls here. Okay. I'm just going back to the chat real quick. Okay. I've seen a couple of you guys comment about this, but I want to hit on it real quick. Hamed just posted Pacquiao announcing on his Twitter page that he's fighting Errol Spence in August. So they are skipping the Pacquiao Garcia fight and the Spence Ugas fight and going straight to Pacquiao Spence. That's interesting. That's kind of a thickening of the plot there, because they were going to marinate the living fuck out of that thing. Isan says the same thing, and I've seen a few of you guys say it. So Pacquiao Spence. Wow. So that's official. Well, you know what? Yeah, I want to see, is this confirmed? Because I want to see it from the promoter. I want to see PBC on their page. Now, if you guys see Errol Spence and PBC tweet about it, check that out and get back to me, because that's what I want to see. Because who is it who said that in the chat here? Kufujitsu said, I've heard that before. Wait until it's confirmed. Hell yeah. Wait, guys, please, because I see a few of you posting this. Costas right here just posted. Please go to PBC's Twitter page and let me know. Okay. I mean, I could check, but I want to get to these next calls. So check it out and see if there's any like official news about this and it's signed, or if it's just fighters talking on social. Because after what just happened this week with Tyson Fury and the whole fiasco in the heavyweight division, I ain't trusting that shit no more. All right, back to the phones. All right, 401. 401. That sounds like a beeper. Are we living in the 90s? Was that a beeper? 401, you're on.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, Mike? It's Isan again.
Isan, what's up, man? I heard some beeping. Was that like a microwave or something?
No, I was hooked up to the aux on my car.
Oh, okay.
Right
I thought you were like making a burrito
No, I
or something
just
while you're talking to me.
No, I didn't know if I was next to something, so I
I
didn't
got
know
you.
why I waited. But hey, bye 50-50 split for Bud, huh?
What's up?
I said bye 50-50 split for Bud, huh?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, because that
I mean,
was
that was
really
really
a thing, you know.
Yeah. Now it's really going to be 70-30. I mean, that's like been, everybody's moved on from that. I can imagine that's why it's not happening.
Yeah, I honestly fuck that fight. Fuck both of them. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm over it. I want to see Boots Ennis. I want to see Virgil Ortiz. You know, I want to see these new guys coming up.
It really doesn't matter anymore either, because now we're gonna have Taylor and Ramirez at 147 pretty soon.
Yeah,
Virgil's gonna be coming up. The only thing for Bud is that what's he, like 33 now? So he's by the time things are like, you know, Virgil's established and NSR established, he'll be like 35 and on the downside probably. So I mean, he hasn't taken a bunch of punishment, and he's a great fighter. So he probably will still be competing at a high level, probably like how Golovkin was at 35 and 36. But I think around that time when everybody's coming up, I think he'll be on the downslide. I think Spence is going to cash out and retire before then too, honestly.
it's hard to say, man. It's hard to predict some of these moves. I've always said that if Spence and Crawford fight, it'll be when Crawford's too old and it'll be at like 154 or some shit, to where like it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? I like the Crawford and Golovkin comparison, but the difference is Crawford's moved up in weight. Golovkin has stayed at 60. So for Crawford, at some point, I think he's going to age faster than Triple G, actually. And he relies on reflexes more.
Yeah, that's the thing about Golovkin stuff. People don't realize he doesn't use a crazy amount of athleticism or movement. His feet and the stiff jab and probably the iron chin. If he can have those three things, I don't know when that will be completely finished.
Yeah,
completely rot away. But who you favoring for tomorrow? But don't hold out.
Yeah, man, it's been hard, dude. Like my gut keeps telling me.
Tell me Ramirez too.
Yeah. Well, it just, and then all these X factors that I don't know if you heard Mark's call earlier on, that he was talking about, just the politics and everything like that that's involved here,
Yeah.
all favor Ramirez. I mean, everything favors Ramirez.
Yeah.
But when this fight was first signed, I said, I think Taylor's going to edge it, and I'm just sticking to that. I'm being stubborn. But man, it wouldn't surprise me at all if
Yeah.
Ramirez shows us an extra level tomorrow.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it really is a 50-50 fight in many ways.
Yeah.
For me, it's hard to go against Taylor because like you said before, after the fight with Prograis, I was like, wow. I can't pick Ramirez to beat this guy. Especially how Ramirez looked in his last fight. But at the same time, the same three judges that scored Ramirez full soul, which I think that shouldn't happen in my opinion. The same three judges for that fight are judging tomorrow, and yeah, like you said, Mexican American in Vegas. It's just everything's against Taylor. But imagine if Taylor can somehow stop him though. That'd
be big.
That's a statement right there.
If either guy stops
that,
either guy, that's huge, man. That's because usually in these 50-50 matchups, sometimes they kind of don't live up to the hype because the skill level is so high and they're so evenly matched that you kind of get this dull tactical fight. But if it blows up at some point and somebody gets hurt, somebody gets knocked out, dude, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, for sure. I think I took the winner maybe third, maybe second. I don't know. I think if Taylor stops Ramirez, he's got to go maybe 2 to 3. That's what I'm thinking right now. Because who else is up there? Obviously Canelo, then Inoue, and then Bud. Maybe like fourth. Maybe I'm thinking about it. Fourth, fifth. I don't like seeing Errol so high up on that list, man. I hate it. I mean, if he beats Manny, then we'll have a different conversation a little bit. But still, I don't know. I don't know about him being so high and like where Taylor would be if he won or Ramirez.
I would rate, I'm at a point right now, dude. Like I'm giving these guys till maybe midsummer. And then these guys that don't have a fight scheduled, like Bud, like Golovkin, those guys are just getting dropped. I already dropped Golovkin out of my top 10, but I'm about to drop Bud because he doesn't have a damn fight scheduled. So with Taylor and Ramirez, again, man, depending on how this thing plays out tomorrow, they might both be on the list after this fight, and maybe one of them is in the top 5. But these guys, dude, Usyk, they got to fight. You know what I'm saying? Get in the damn ring.
Yeah. Well, I know for Usyk, he was mostly waiting for the Fury announce, because so I kind of did understand with Usyk, he didn't want to make the wrong move. And I mean, look at it. Him waiting, look what he's about to get next. An AJ fight, literally probably in August.
Yeah, so look, if Usyk fights AJ, obviously if he wins that fight, holy shit, he might be number 1 pound for pound if he beats Joshua. Joshua will be a heavy favorite in that fight just because of the size and power difference.
Oh yeah, I think it's just the size for Usyk. I think he has the tools to, and completely outbox AJ. But I just think AJ not outmuscle him, but kind of just like he can maneuver Usyk probably how he wants to. Honestly, I don't think he'd stop him.
Dude,
but I think
people underrate Joshua's boxing ability too. He's actually a pretty good boxer.
Why everybody hates on him?
I don't know why people hate on AJ, man. Yeah.
Like I mean, he lost to Ruiz and came back. Freaking Wilder got knocked out by Fury. He made a whole bunch of excuses, but people love Wilder. It's
the weirdest thing, man.
People are these days.
Yeah, that's a great point.
So what now? All right, last question. So I'm not going to hold you up anymore. Let's say do you think Pacquiao? I mean, obviously he has a shot, Pacquiao, but what would be your thoughts if he beat Errol Spence? Like not like in a huge margin, but he like the way the Keith Thurman fight went. Maybe he drops Spence or something, or he just completely he clearly wins. Not like a 10-2, but he wins like a pretty solid 8-4. How are we talking about Manny Pacquiao after that?
We're having a completely different conversation about him because I think that Errol Spence is probably going to wind up in the Hall of Fame one day. I don't see him as an all-time great or anything like that, but he's going to eventually move to 54 and probably win a title there. So if Manny were to beat him, and another thing about Spence, he's never lost. He's never been hurt. He's never been dropped. I thought he clearly beat Sean Porter and
he was hurt one time, not recently, but it was he wasn't wobbled, but he he got caught with a good shot. You could see his he didn't like that shot. He wobbled a little bit. It was, I forgot who it was, but it wasn't, not
He
a
was
huge
young though,
fucking
right?
guy. It wasn't a big deal. He wasn't wobbled, but probably like 3-4 years ago. Maybe
Okay.
he was younger actually. He probably was younger.
Yeah,
It
I'm
was
thinking
definitely
since
nothing crazy. Oh yeah, I mean,
since he's been at the title level,
hurt, but
since he's been at the title level, since he
exactly,
fought
yeah.
Brooke, I thought he's won all of his fights pretty clearly. Some of them were competitive, like, but a lot of
Yeah,
people are
same.
like, "Oh man, he might have lost to Porter or something." Like, no, he in
No,
my opinion, he beat
no.
Porter pretty clearly. It was close, but he beat him.
Yeah, it was a good fight, but
Good fight,
Yeah.
yeah.
he didn't outclass him is the thing.
He hasn't outclassed anybody really, but he's beat them. He's beat everybody, right? So if Manny were to go in there and beat him the way he beat Thurman, because I thought Manny clearly beat Thurman too. There were some people out there saying that was controversial. I'm like, really? What the fuck were you watching? But if Manny were to beat
I
him,
don't know
dude,
who's
we're having a different conversation because Floyd's about to fight Logan Paul. You know what I'm saying? So it would be one of those strange things, dude, where even though Floyd beat Manny when they fought, Manny might rate higher all time, if he were to beat Spence. So that's what I think.
So what do you give him for a shot? Like his chances?
Very,
There is
very,
Manny
very
Pacquiao
little
people.
chance. I think if
Yeah,
it's very
and
close on the cards, Spence wins on the cards. And I just think Spence is too young and powerful and in his prime. I like Spence on that fight big.
Yeah, that's true. I don't understand what it is with Manny, but he's a big name, but he always gets screwed on the cards for some reason. I'll never understand it.
Some of it's political. Manny has said some things that bother some people.
Oh,
He's a really religious dude. He's really conservative. But yeah, the thing with Jeff Horn, I thought he beat Jeff Horn. I mean, that was just home cooking. So yeah, if you fight Spence,
Oh, yeah, true.
it could be the same kind of thing,
Yeah, now imagine if Spence loses, what that will do to him. I mean, there's no shame losing to Manny Pacquiao, but it's like, dude, he's 42. Like, when you're in your prime years, you wouldn't even face Crawford. You fought to Spence. And you lost to Manny.
Look what it did to Thurman, dog. We haven't seen Thurman
no.
since.
That's true, yeah. So, all right, my thanks. I don't want to hold you up anymore. I barely caught the live. I just happened to open YouTube, so I was like, ooh, because I was looking
Awesome.
for the, looking to watch the weigh-in. So I was like, oh, let me just watch that there. Montero's live.
Awesome, brother. I appreciate you checking in, man. Enjoy the fights.
Always, man. Hey, have a good one.
All right,
Yeah,
you too.
man. Bye.
We got a couple more calls to get to, but I just want to get to Jay Bones' comment here. AJ is hated because he has class. Honestly, dude, sadly, I think that's a big part of it. I mean, you look at how AJ handled his loss to Ruiz and how Wilder handled his loss to Fury. The thing is, Wilder lost to a much better fighter than Joshua did, but the way that they handled it, it's night and day. And you would think Joshua would get more love, but I do think that among most just boxing fans, they respect AJ, but there's this contingent of fans, this tiny little group that wants a certain thing. And Joshua just doesn't represent that. Wilder does in their minds. So, that's why they're going to ride or die with Deontay. And again, I got nothing against Deontay. He's an exciting fighter. His fights are fun as hell to watch, win, lose, or draw. He's flawed and the fundamentals are all over the place, but at any second he can catch you with that right hand. At any second he can get got because he's so fundamentally flawed. So that makes his fights fun to watch. You know what I'm saying? I just, some of his fans, dude, whew, they hit him with another super chat. Thank you so much. He says, Pac-Man tweeted August 21st versus Spence in Las Vegas. Well, damn. It looks like, man, you know what? We've had breaking news. When I did my show Monday, there was breaking news about the heavyweight division right when I went live. It was you guys saw me like, what the fuck? I'm checking everything. And I had to change the title of that video, the thumbnail, everything. And now this is breaking on this show. So when I go live, shit seems to be breaking lately, which is cool, which is very cool. Jay Bones says Pacquiao is an effing warrior. Hell yeah, he is. Hell yeah, he is. I mean, win, lose, or draw against Spence. I mean, look at the guys he's fighting. Now, to be clear, I told you guys years ago, I think it was like 3 years ago, when PBC signed Pacquiao, why they were doing that, what the plan was. That was to build up their other welterweights. And it was whether it was going to be Thurman or Spence or whoever, they were going to use Manny to build up those names, right? So that's what they're doing. It's just, you know, it's played out a little wonky, a little weird because of the pandemic. You know what I'm saying? That kind of screwed up timing and everything else. Okay, let's jump back to the phones. We got a couple more. 773, you're on the show.
What's going on, Mike? This is John Ernest.
Hey, what's up, man?
Wanted to chime in a little bit. Never had a chance to call in first time. You brought up a good point about the Josh Taylor Ramirez. I know a lot of people are going to call it a close fight. I'm going to agree that it's going to be a close fight. I'm going to be bold here. I say Taylor's going to stop him. I think he has faster hands. I think he has faster hands, faster feet. This is no disrespect to Ramirez. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy to stop him. I think Regis is the second best junior welterweight. I do think Ramirez is going to be super, super up for this. But I think in everything Ramirez do, Taylor can do better. And I think that he is going to stop him. He's going to stop him late.
I love that bold pick, man.
He knows this. Yes, I think he knows this. I do agree with you about the things the UK. It does seem a little fishy, but when you're going to foreign soil, you know what you need to do, and you can't allow it to go to the cards. And if he doesn't stop him, his corner's going to stop him. I'm going to say that right now. And if anybody wants to think I'm crazy, hey, that's fine. It's boxing. But I'm not going to back up on my pick. I think that he's much more physically strong than people think. Taylor is much more diverse than you think. There's a lot more to his game than people may give him credit. We saw it in the Regis fight. I thought Regis was going to beat him.
Me too.
And everything Regis can do, Taylor could do better. And just a smidge. He didn't dominate him, but just a smidge. Right. But I think those type of fights elevate you next. And I think that Taylor is truly a different type of UK fighter. Most UK fighters, they only fight from distance. But this guy, he can fight inside. He can box. He can bang. And I really believe that he's gonna stop him. I've been on this. I've been on this for a while, and this is nothing against Ramirez. I think Ramirez is gonna be really, really up for this. But this ain't Hooker that he's about to fight. This is a big 140 pounder.
Let me ask you this.
My pick. I don't think it's gonna go to the card.
I want to ask you about inactivity. This is something I talked about in my show Monday. Taylor only fought like 2 minutes last year against that mandatory who he blew out, right? Ramirez got in 12 good rounds of work with Postal. Does that make a difference to you in terms of ring rust?
I don't think it will, only in the sense of how today's fighter is, like most, with the exception of like whoever Canelo's going to fight next. But I think because some of these guys are not as active as they used to be in the old days, I don't think that's going to be a factor. I don't think that his lack of activity is going to factor into this. I do believe that activity is good. I'm a big guy. I think I'm always on activity. I think fighters should fight more often. There's various reasons why. I don't know. I have my reasons, but that'll be another subject. But I don't believe that's going to be a factor to this. He's going to be up to this. This is his Super Bowl. And if it does be a little ring rust, I think him being the professional that he is, he'll be able to shake it off in a couple of rounds. But I do expect for him to engage. And I think Ben Davis, who is his new trainer, you're going to see a little bit of more of what, to me, of boxing and countering off of that, as opposed to him just straight forward going. Or he may surprise and he may try to outbox him, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to box finals, and I think he's going to stop him late.
Do you think it's going to be a body shot or a head shot?
I think it's going to be an accumulation of punches, but I don't necessarily know if it will be a head shot because Ramirez he has a very stern team. He's very sturdy, but I think he's just going to break him down. I think he's just going to break him down. I think everything Ramirez can do, Taylor can do. And I just think the faster hands and the faster feet are going to be a major factor. He can turn them. He got faster hands, and I think he may catch him in the exchange.
Okay.
So this is no disrespect to Ramirez.
Right.
I love Ramirez. I have a lot of respect. I'm just riding with Taylor on this. I'm not saying it's going to be easy because Ramirez is not going to go like gently into the night, but I do believe that he's going to stop because I believe the same thing you believe, and I believe that Taylor and his team knows this. We can't win this on the card. We saw what Fury did in the first fight against Joshua. Against Wilder, what anybody says, to me, he won. That was clear. But yeah, the knockdowns were there, but still, he didn't get the decision. And this is just like the flip side when you go into anybody's territory. I'm not being sympathetic. It's just what happens. If I was an American fighter going to the UK, I'm not going to let it go to the card. Wherever I come from, if I'm going to foreign soil, you got to use your system. You can't allow it to go to the card. And I don't believe that he'll get a decision if it goes to the card, no matter how the fight looks, unless he knocks him down several times. And I don't think that's going to happen. I think he's going to stop him late, or his corner's going to stop it.
Well, you're on the record, brother. You got to call into the podcast Monday and check in.
Yeah, I will. I'll call in Monday. I don't want to monopolize too much time, but it was another thing I did want to add if I can.
Yeah.
When you mentioned the thing about AJ and why people may not like AJ, and I think it's not the class thing, though he is a classy guy. I think, and this is no disrespect to him, I don't ever like to say this about a fighter because I think he's conservative. He's become conservative since the Vladimir fight.
Yeah.
And I think that had the same effect on him, like Hector Camacho against Rodriguez,
yeah,
and Adrian Broner's fighter against El Chino. And he even admitted he didn't want to do that. And so I think since then he's been more conservative. But I do think that people got to give him a lot of credit. I mean, even though Andy is the lesser fighter than Fury, and I think Fury is the best heavyweight, to get knocked out by the guy who knocked you out that clean and then go back and do it again, you have to praise a fighter like that. AJ has fought everybody. He hasn't ducked or looked toward, an easy way out. I give him tons of credit, but I do believe that people they don't really like the way his style is been, which is a little bit more conservative these days. But I have all the respect in the world for anybody who gets knocked out and then goes back and fights that guy immediately right after. You got to give a lot of credit for that.
I agree.
But that's all I have to say, even though I can be on the phone with you forever. But yeah, I will call
I appreciate it, man.
No, I always talk to you. I always be hitting you on Twitter. And I love your content, man.
I appreciate it, bro.
Like,
man, call in more, man.
I hope I can get in for this. Oh, I will. I'll start doing it because you're live on Mondays, right?
Yeah, Monday at 5 Eastern. And that's on Ring's channel, not on mine. So, but I want to start doing more of these Friday ones too. So I'm going to try to do that.
Yeah. But like, especially if it's before like the big fight.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing. Then you can get people, see if they want to put predictions out there because everybody, let's say what they're going to say on Monday, make all these excuses or
of course.
I like to just make my predictions. Oh, the last thing, the Manny Spence thing, I think you already know. Yeah, it is official.
It's official. So it's officially official. So it's not what Fury did to us. Okay.
No.
Because man, that pissed me off, bro.
Tim, yeah. Well, clearly, maybe he didn't know. I don't know. But they have no one to blame but themselves. They should have AJ series should have gotten taken care of a long time ago, and then they could have did the Wilder thing.
Yep. But totally agree.
Was trying to get them, the biggest amount of money, and so this is what
happened. Dog, they were nickel and diming over like instead of 140 million, they wanted 155 million. I'm like, how much fucking money do you just make the damn fight?
It was like that.
Yeah, they were nickel and diming over money like that.
Yeah. They have no one to blame but themselves. And now we're going to have something different, and we don't know what's going to happen with this. Even though I don't think Wilder will be Fury, but hey, he's a fighter, and Fury.
It could happen, bro. Wilder could beat Fury, and Usyk could beat Joshua, and we're all going to be like, "What the fuck just happened?" But it could happen.
Gonna go on record again. I think Usyk is really good. I just think that Joshua is just too big.
Yeah, I agree.
Too fundamentally sound.
Yeah.
If Usyk was more Vander Holyfield-ish, then I would give him a good opportunity. I believe Fury will beat Wilder the third time, and I think he's going to do it even faster this time.
Hmm.
I just think that I know Joshua, he has the power, but he's been able to tame that. And now he knows what to expect from it, even if he gets caught flush. I just think he's going to beat him again. And I have no problem with Wilder going after it. And I don't have a problem if I'm wrong with all my predictions. I just think that we will get AJ and Fury later, unless somebody gets like hurt in the ring and pull or something or
Right.
whatever. But they're eventually going to fight. I just don't think I don't think Usyk has enough dog or style of fighting to be able to beat Anthony or push him. And I just think that Wilder, won't be Fury. I don't see it. People say Fury was in the zone and all of it. I'm like, nah, he just fought differently. He's actually physically stronger than Wilder, and he has more craft than Wilder. He may not hit as harder, but when you're 240 pounds and you step into a guy
and punch him down
over,
you're punching down at somebody like that.
He's punching down, and then another thing he's doing that a lot of people don't look at, he was choking, and which isn't illegal with boxing. He was just choking the hell out of Wilder because he's leaning on him, cutting off his oxygen. He knows a lot of craft. He knows a lot of stuff in the gyms and a lot of craft. I just think his craftsmanship is overlooked in the same way as with Joshua is nice. They overlook his skill set, and I think because Fury kind of is a character, you kind of overlook the things that he actually can do. That he's a big, nimble guy who I never thought would be as good as he would be right now.
Me too.
Not this guy.
I completely underestimated him.
I was like, Tyson, who the hell is Tyson Fury?
Yeah.
But all credit to him. And hey, I'll be okay with 2 red heavyweight fights. I don't have a problem with that. We just have to wait, and the winner gets each other later. But I know you probably got other calls. I don't want to monopolize your time, even though I could. I wouldn't mind. So I know other people want to hear on the call, like, who is this guy? Get out. But thank you, sir, for picking my call.
Hey, thanks for calling in, man. Call in Monday.
All right. Thanks,
all right,
Mike.
bro. Have a good weekend. Good call. Good call. And I see CJ Duncan on the chat here. He says, this doesn't look good on Top Rank, regardless of what may have been the better fight. But this Pac Spence fight does move the division forward. Yeah, it does somewhat move the division forward. It's not the fight that we do want, but maybe we get one step closer to it. CJ, I know you're there walking around the venue because you're going to the fight tomorrow. Have you seen any more advertisements or anything for the fight walking around? Because I know you were telling me before there's nothing going on. It's dead. Has it changed? Is there more? Please drop in the chat, man. Let me know or call in because I'm curious, bro. Because it's just when you told me that there was nothing going on there, I couldn't believe it, man. It's such a shame. All right, back to the phones we go. 470, you're on. 470.
Hey, Mike, you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was just calling, man. I'm a big fan. It's my first time calling in. I follow your content for years. And I stay in Georgia, man. I hope to meet you one sometime, man.
Hell yeah, bro. What part of Georgia?
I stay in Gainesville. It's like 50 minutes from Atlanta.
So, I thought Gainesville was Florida.
Perimeter.
Yeah, I'm still learning, bro. I'm still learning the area, but
yeah, I'm just a big fan, man. I wanted to call it. I tell my girlfriend about you all the time. She's like, "Who you listen to talk?" I'm like, "It's Michael." Don't She's like, "Why you listen to people that just?" I'm like, I always tell her you won't understand. But,
I appreciate it.
I'm a big fan, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, so keep the great content, and hopefully I can meet you sometime in Georgia. And drinks on me, man.
Hell yeah, dog. Hey, man, we got a show coming up here June 19th in Atlanta in Buckhead. So if you could get down here for that show, let me know.
Oh, I definitely will, man.
Yeah, hit me, like DM me on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and I could get you ticket information and all that kind of stuff. I'll let you know. But I should be calling the action on that fight. I think I'm going to be doing the commentary and stuff. So I'll be there. We'll be hanging out. So come down, man. Bring your girl, and we'll have a drink or something.
Oh, yeah, it's on me though, man. Keep up the good work, man.
Appreciate that, bro.
All right, you have a good one, man.
All right, have a good weekend, man. All right, we got one more call here. Let's see. 317. 317, you're on.
Hey, what's up, Mike? It's Jack again.
Jack, what's up, man? I thought I recognized that number. What's going on, bro?
Guys, have a good one. I'm at work right now.
Where do you work, man?
But
where do you work?
just like it's called Meijer. It's like a Walmart, basically.
Yo, I know Meijer. Dude,
Indiana.
we had Myers in
you do?
Detroit. Yeah, I grew up in Detroit, man. We had a fucking, oh my God. Me and my brother used to get in so much trouble. We get like boxing gloves and beat the shit out of each other. And we'd like play baseball in the store and security would kick us out. We'd throw eggs at each other in the produce section or whatever it's called. Yeah, we used to get in a lot of trouble at Myers, man. That's awesome that you work there. Holy shit. That's bringing back memories for me.
Yeah, but I'm like helping customers right now, so I might have to go out of nowhere.
Can your customers hear me? Are you on? You got me on speaker? Put me on speaker. Let me cuss out your customers.
Yeah, no, I got a headphone on.
Oh, okay,
but,
okay.
I wanted to tell you, man, I'm gonna be moving to Georgia in the next 2 years. I'm not sure, but I got family down there, and I was gonna be moving there. So.
Oh shit.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
Awesome, dude. Are you coming to Atlanta? Or the Atlanta area?
Sure yet.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not sure yet.
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
We're gonna have to see. You're all good. One thing I did say, I might have to go in a sec, is Triple G Charlo. That sounds like that's possible. So what do you think about that whole situation?
Look, man, if we end up getting Triple G and Charlo, and I guess we're getting Pacquiao and Spence, we're getting some pretty good consolation prizes. These aren't the fights we necessarily want, but I'll take them. They're pretty good fights. So yeah, I'm cool with that. But I kind of look at Charlo Golovkin kind of the way I look at Spence and Pacquiao.
Yeah, wait, Spence and Pacquiao official?
Apparently it's official. Yeah. Yeah, apparently it's official.
What?
Yeah.
Since when did this happen?
I know, right? Dude, like the second I went live is when it fucking happened. Yeah. It's blowing my mind right now too. So apparently that is legit and that's happening. So yeah.
Shit. Wow, that's insane. I wanted to talk to you about because you know the middleweight division is my favorite. You know I got to talk about G. Dude, Andre, like him showing up at Canelo. It's been a minute, so I know you've already covered this and stuff. But dude, Demetrius Andrade, like, did you see the Liam Smith fight?
Yeah, I saw it.
What'd you think?
I wasn't that impressed. I mean, he showed some grit. You know, he showed some toughness and some grit.
Got hurt multiple times.
Yeah. I part of me wonders if he was kind of playing with his food a little bit so that he could maybe draw some of these other fighters to finally fight him. I don't know. Maybe he's just not on that level, dude. But yeah, Andre's just not the guy some people think he is. He's a good fighter, but I just don't think he's a pound for pound level guy. He's just not.
Okay, one sec. Do you think the Andre will ever happen?
Tell that asshole to bag his own groceries. Tell him to fuck off. I'm about to get Jack fired from Myers. Tell your customer, no fucking plastic bags, paper only, bitch. Tell your customer we only do paper bags, bitch. Think about the environment. Tell her right now.
Okay, you're good. Oh, okay. No, yeah, you can say that too.
Let's get Jack fired, everybody.
No, okay, I gotta go. But tell me, if Triple G Andre happened, who you got?
Triple G Andre, I'd still take Triple G at this point. I'd still take Triple G probably.
We do. You said Redbox? Yeah, we just have a box there. Oh yeah.
Tell him Redbox sucks.
Yeah.
Tell him he's an idiot. Tell him to get some damn Hulu or some shit. Tell that guy he's a fucking moron.
All right, I gotta go, man.
All right, Jack. Have a good one, man. Don't get fired. I had to troll Jack a little bit. I hope one of his customers heard me just a little bit through his earpiece. You like that guy? I haven't even had a beer yet. I haven't even had a fucking beer yet. Ah, shit. You guys don't call me from work because that's what I'll do to you. All right. It looks like we have a UK number. You're on the chat. 796. You're on the chat.
Hello, Mike. Hamed,
Hamed, what's going on, brother?
I'm good. First of all, what do you think about the Pacquiao Spence fight before I get into it?
Yeah, everyone's saying it's official, so that fight is on.
So, what do you think about the fight? Do you think that's a good fight? Better than Spence Ugas, or do you rather see Spence Ugas?
You know what? I'd rather see Spence Pacquiao. Spence Ugas at this point might be more competitive, but just because of the star power and everything else, I guess I'd rather see Spence Pacquiao. It is a passing of the torch. And if Spence wins, which he should, then perhaps finally Pacquiao takes that last paycheck and walks into the sunset and retires, which he needs to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's official. I know Pacquiao announced it on his page, but that's not a bad fight.
Yeah, apparently Spence has too. People in the chat have said that Spence has too. So, yeah.
Oh, that's good news then, because I heard that, or hearing that it looks like Crawford and Porter won't be happening. So, for the time being, I think Spence and Pacquiao maybe is not the worst pay-per-view, because initially they were thinking about making Crawford and Pacquiao. I don't mind if Pacquiao's going to fight. I don't mind him fighting either one of those guys. I don't think it's good for his at his stage for him, for his health or anything like that. It's going to be a tough fight either way. But I mean, if he wants to fight and stay active, then I got no problem with that. Regarding, I just want to talk about the Wilder thing. I'll see if I can touch on the fight tomorrow, because I know it's been completely overshadowed, but I know a lot of people are blaming Wilder. I'm not saying you or anyone specifically, but I'm just seeing a lot of people blaming him. And I know he has been one of the reasons why we haven't got some of the big fights or the Undisputed, dating back to, like you referenced, the Ring IQ video, and you mentioned in that video that the Klitschko, Stiverne, and the whole debacle, which I thought you made a great point. I don't know why there was a rematch between Stiverne and Ariola, but
yeah,
we got to take one thing at a step at a side. And I've seen some of those guys on the LDBC now coming out and saying that the media are doing this and that. And some of the points I agreed with, there's a lot I don't agree with. But the thing is, when Wilder knocked out Brazil and Andy Ruiz knocked out Joshua, PBC had all the belts and they could have made an Undisputed unification. Now, obviously, it's not completely the same and there are differences and whatever. But Andy Ruiz wanted to walk away from that fight. I remember he wanted to throw in the WBO belt or whatever, and he wanted to have a unification, which maybe would not have been for Undisputed, similar to now Fury and Joshua, but it would have, I think, it would have set the precedent, because at the time Fury, I think, had just come back and had one fight with Wilder, which was a draw on paper. He hadn't done anything much apart from that since the Klitschko fight, but that was the chance where we could have got a quote-unquote Undisputed or whatever big unification. And a lot of people are saying that it was in the contract that Joshua had a right, and I agree. That was different as well, because that was immediate and they had to fight in the same year. But this is all on Tyson Fury. Look, I haven't criticized him as much since the Klitschko fight, whatever, when he came back and fought Wilder since then. But he's got a track record as well. He never had the rematch with Klitschko. He also tried walking away from the Wilder rematch in 2020 a couple of times.
Yeah.
He even admitted he should have taken the fight. And after the first Wilder fight, I know it was a draw and I don't blame him, but he could have had an immediate rematch then. Now, I'm not going to blame him that one time because he signed a deal with ESPN, but the guy, he's not committed to immediate rematches. I don't know why that is. I think some of it is his fault and some of it maybe because of what happened with David Haye back in 2013. I think he signed to fight Haye and Haye pulled out twice on him. And since then, he's never really honored an immediate rematch.
Yeah, Hamed,
I think
Tyson Fury's not a good guy. He's pulled some stunts. I mean, And I've talked about this stuff for years. I've talked about, the rematch with Klitschko. We know that he was using performance enhancing drugs the same year he fought Klitschko. UKAD completely dropped the ball in that whole case. Fury, it's not like Fury's a good dude and he's just always been a class act and been a model of consistency. He hasn't been. So there's plenty of blame to go all around here. But yeah, and I've talked about the Fury stuff. It's just that video I posted the other day, that was specifically detailing how Wilder has gotten in the way, and he has. The one guy I think that has been the most consistent out of all of them is Anthony Joshua, and I don't understand the hate the dude gets. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think on Joshua's team, I think the thing they messed up was the whole Wilder situation. They had a chance to fight Wilder, and I know Wilder turned down offers, this and that, but Eddie Hearn and Joshua have also admitted they also messed up a bit as well by the whole contract situation. I'm not going to get into it. We all know Wilder was the one to blame more, but it takes two to tango. Look, Fury, after he came back, he fought Wilder twice, so it wasn't impossible to get Wilder in the ring. I think if Joshua and his team just called it Wilder's bluff, they could have gone in the ring and maybe they could have knocked him out. I think where I blame him, I don't think he thought the reward and risk matched each other, because Wilder could have ended that fight in a couple of rounds. At the same time, he could have got knocked out. But regarding this now, you can't blame Joshua, and you can't blame. I don't think you can blame anything, but you could blame him a bit in the fact that he took Bob Adams' word after the whole Teofimo Lopez.
Yeah. Maybe he was a little naive.
He was naive, yeah. He took him to his word, and this was after he kind of rubbed up Bob the wrong way. And I personally think Bob deserves the most blame, and I do think
I do too.
I'm not going to say media members are scared to call him out, but I just think there's a double standard. I've seen a lot of people go after Al Heyman and Wilder, and trust me, I blame those guys a lot. This instant, I know they prolonged the thing, but Heyman doesn't speak, and Wilder was pretty much silent about the whole rematch. He was, I know, accusing Fury and all sorts. I think they knew from the get-go that this arbitration or whatever mediation first was going to go in their case. I think the guy to blame and team is Fury and Bob Arum, because after the Pulev fight, they were calling out Joshua. If they knew that they could have got that Wilder fight out the way in January, February, with Fury admitted, they should have just done that, really. And they kind of took the fans for a ride. I think Eddie Hearn is a bit of a sucker for kind of not having a plan B at the same time. He should have tried getting a resolution at the same time. He should have given a timeline. Because we were in April, May, and I was thinking, this is going on far too long. By the time Joshua fights Usyk,
I've been saying that for months.
It's going to be all.
Well, what this situation is somewhat reminiscent of? It's somewhat reminiscent of Gennady Golovkin kind of wasting part of his career waiting for Canelo Alvarez. And we've seen this with other fighters. And at some point, dude, you just got to pull the trigger. For Eddie Hearn, I understand, though, somewhat I can empathize, because he's this close in his mind to getting his fighter $75 million. And your job ultimately as a promoter is to get your fighter paid. So when you're this close to $75 million, you're going to try to see that through. And you're going to extend deadlines. You're going to do everything you could do. So I agree with you that this is mostly on Bob Arum and Tyson Fury especially, but also Eddie Hearn does deserve some blame in Joshua's side, but also Wilder and Heyman. And I can't get into specifics on the record, okay? All I can tell you is trust me on this. And Shelly Finkel, there was some stuff going on over there as it relates to timelines that was being done on purpose to make people look bad and to fuck things up. That's all I can say. I can't get into specifics on the record, but all parties involved here have taken people for a ride. Ultimately, the biggest offenders are Bob Arum and Tyson Fury, but everyone shares blame. Trust me on this one, Ahmed. But dude, I got a couple more calls and I got to get caught up on the chat, man. I'm sorry.
All right, that's okay. That's fair enough. The only thing I will say is Wilder probably and his team wanted to get Fury back because they thought they kind of got stabbed, which wasn't in the contract, because I think there was a loophole after the first fight. If it was a draw, no one owed each other a rematch. And that's where I think they probably, what you're saying, they probably did the bad thing. But I agree with a lot of you saying. Wilder has to take blame. He's the only one. He turned professional before both these guys. The only one who's
Yes.
never unified. Neither fought a Klitschko. But before I go regarding Schwartz, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I was at Josh Taylor Prograis. I think Josh Taylor, Prograis, and Ramirez, they could all beat each other. That's why. That's what I think could happen. But I'm not sure. I think it could go either way. It should be a good fight though. But thanks for taking my call. Good show as usual.
Thank you, Ahmed. Have a good one.
All right. Enjoy the fight.
Thank you. You too. Now we still got a bunch of calls, guys. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all these. I just want to catch up on the chat a little bit. Joe in the chat is asking, is the fight tomorrow on ESPN or ESPN Plus? It's on both. It's on both. Okay. Good Times 9501 says, you said Mayweather popped positive for drugs when? I never said that. Floyd Mayweather never tested positive for performance enhancing drugs. He gave 2 urine samples for 2 different fights, 2 different tests to the Nevada State Athletic Commission, just standard urine tests. They came back with a low TE ratio. The odds of that happening for a young, healthy male are 1 in a million. The odds of that happening for a young, healthy male who's a professional athlete in his physical prime, dude, you're going to get struck by lightning more often than you see that, okay? So that is a dead giveaway for somebody diluting their urine and doing other things to masking agents. I'll just put it that way, okay? That we saw twice. Both times the Nevada State Athletic Commission did not follow up. There was no subsequent testing. There was no investigation. They got those back, and it kind of just went mum. We didn't find out. The media didn't find out until years later. Some of that information was leaked. But I've seen physical copies of those commission tests and the TE ratio that came back. It was under 1. You do not see that for a grown man in his late 20s, I think it was late 20s, who's a physical specimen like Floyd Mayweather. Doesn't happen. So that's a dead giveaway. That's never happened with Manny Pacquiao. And I'm not saying that Manny Pacquiao, that necessarily proves he's a clean fighter. I'm not saying any of this proves Floyd ever took something. What I'm telling you is that is a massive red flag, and it is anecdotal, circumstantial evidence that links Floyd to some shenanigans. On top of that, there was the whole IV gate thing, which is, again, a dead giveaway too, and a violation of WADA protocol. But USADA sold Floyd at the tune of over $100,000 a TUE. This is all documented. I'm not making this shit up, okay? By the way, VADA, 1/10 the cost of USADA. Manny Pacquiao wanted VADA testing for the fight with Floyd. Floyd refused to do the fight with VADA testing, demanded USADA, even though it cost him 10 times as much. Okay, so draw from that what you will. But all you guys that say that Pacquiao cheated and did steroids, there's just simply no evidence of that. Yet there is some, I admit, not physical hard evidence, no smoking gun, but circumstantial anecdotal evidence linking Floyd to some shady shit. Okay, it definitely puts a cloud of suspicion over him. All right, guys, a couple of quick calls. We're going to make these quick. You guys have been on hold for a minute, so we're going to jump over here. 702, you're on. 702, what's up?
Mr. Mike Montero, what's good, man?
What's going on,
CJ.
brother? CJ, what's up, man? I was hoping you'd call in.
Hey, man. Yeah, I was trying to get back out of the car so I can get somewhere and actually be able to talk. So I did not go back into Virgin, but I intentionally drove across and kind of cut past Virgin.
Okay.
And outside of the occasional billboard, like we talked about the other day, you don't see anything. And it's a poor effect. I mean, obviously, you know, Top Racing taking hits all along the way, but the thing that they've always kind of made it seem like was that they stayed doing the fights in the bubble in Vegas, and that thought that they were going to open back up with Vegas opening back up. And we know they took the money grab over there at Virgin. I mean, it looks nice and all that, and they need to get content in there, but they're not doing a real service to bringing the fights back. Because even with this Spence Pacquiao fight that they're talking about going off, that's going to be in Vegas, and they're saying it's more than likely going to be on pay-per-view from what I've got in front of me.
Oh, yeah.
If you talk about what happened yesterday with the litigation with Wilder and Fury 3, they've got 2 different dates. One of those dates is essentially the weekend before this announced date that they're talking about with Pacquiao Spence, and that's going to be on pay-per-view too. And likely they're going to try to put both of them in Allegiant Stadium, which neither one should be in an Allegiant Stadium. If you're going to open up that stadium for a fight, go ahead and bring Canelo into the city. I mean, Vegas about doing this. Just also poor business on Bob too, because they're doing this big unification fight on this weekend. They've had this plan for a little bit of time. They've got to have a close enough pipeline to our legislation up in Carson City to have an idea of when they're going to open up. The joint over there at Virgin Hotel, it only holds about 1,200 full capacity. So now you still are doing minimum capacity because of the COVID restrictions. But on June 1st, the state of Nevada, and more in particular Clark County, where Vegas is going 100%. How can you guys drop the ball like that if you're top ranked? You could at least, even if you're going to keep it over at Virgin, you're going to have a 2-week wait and then you put this fight on. So you're in theory going to say that you're going to have more people at the Shakur Stevenson fight and at the Devin Haney fight than at a unification of 140.
Dude, and let me ask you this. For those who are not familiar with the Vegas Strip and where the Virgin is located, it's not like it's in the heart of the Strip, right? It's kind of off the beaten path a little bit. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay.
It's, for anybody that's been to Vegas before, Virgin Hotel is basically the old Hard Rock.
Right.
Most people probably stumbled out of like rehab, that pool that used to be over there, rest in peace, one of the greatest pools that started all the day clubs, quite honestly. It was a fun time. Quality Stories and Babies probably were birthed in that place. So it's not really close to the Strip. And even with that, they've got that whole block basically from the airport, which is on Paradise, kind of like that rise on that street where the hotel is, to get signage and even get signage on the cheap. There's no billboards coming in from the airport, going out from the airport. And there's some that ride over by MGM, but because it's not an MGM event, they can't get that cheap advertising on those billboards heading over to MGM and over to Mandalay Bay. So this was truly just, it's almost in some ways being set up as like a thriller-ish kind of fight where it's made for TV.
Yeah.
With some people being able to go to the event all the way down to the venue because they don't have to stage it that large. It's a slightly step up from what they were doing at the convention center over at MGM.
Okay. And you think about that, and just a few weeks ago, you had Canelo and Saunders fighting in front of 70,000 people, but because of political reasons, and look, a lot of the guys at Top Rank, I'm not going to get into politics, but they go hard one way on politics. And as it relates to COVID and all this stuff, I think that a lot of this was political, them not wanting to go to a state like Texas. At least that's what I've been told. And I do know that like the next 3 or 4 events they're going to have there at the Virgin, that's really going to crush their fucking business, man. I mean, there's going to be several big events this year, and Top Rank ain't going to have one of them.
No. And they're putting on events in the city, but they're putting them on somewhere that nobody really is going to be able to get to. And it's going to be a lesser effect even off of this Ramirez fight, where they're just going to try to get their whales in, because where the Virgin Hotel properties are, they're in like key places throughout the U.S. and in London. So they've got a certain clientele that they're trying to hit.
Yeah.
And this venue isn't that big. And they don't got that relationship with any of the other larger venues around the city. So I don't know as far as what this business model is, what Top Rank's looking to do. I mean, good or bad, how PBC might play this summer schedule using Allegiant, using MGM brand. They might use Mandalay Bay, which to me is still, as a local, the best overall scene for a fight because of how it was built. But now it doesn't get used as much because when MGM bought Mandalay Bay, that basically took away that arena right there and almost trumped it. But they're still, at least they're trying to go out at scale. Even if they're microwaving some of these events, you know, with the Pacquiao Spence fight being announced for August, that's about a 9 or a 12 week out, which is enough time to be able to promote it. And then with the Wilder Fury, they're kind of jamming that one like 8 to 12 weeks. But at least they're doing it after the state has opened itself up. And if you're the fight capital of the world and you're supposed to be a Vegas-based operation, then you can at least hold one of these back in the tuck. Hell, even put Lomachenko over at Mandalay Bay or somewhere else, or put him out at there's a outdoor stadium that the minor league baseball team has that seats 2 times the amount of people, and we'll probably get more people in this event. Will do, and it's a newer stadium. It's probably aesthetically set up better for what the joint currently is right now for fights, because that's mainly like a theater to be able to have concerts, but they've always found a way to put a ring in. So I'll give an update after the fight tomorrow night and see how things are. I'll make sure I do my best to get on the call on Monday just to hit you up, man.
Call it.
Always great show.
Call in Monday and give us like the lowdown of what you saw, because I really want to get your report, man. I mean, we'll talk over the weekend, but I'm saying just hit up the show Monday and let me know. So,
all right, man.
Have fun, brother.
Man. Be safe out there.
All right, man.
All right, now.
Talk soon, brother.
Bye.
That's my man, CJ. He's a good guy. And he's one of those guys that just tells the damn truth about the scene of boxing. So when you do that, of course, you're going to get heat from some people, but he's always going to keep it 100 and keep it real. And he texted me the other day and he was just like, dude, I'm walking around. He was walking around with his wife, just around the venue. And he's like, there's no advertisements. There's no billboards. There's nothing out here. You wouldn't even know there's a fight going on. So, you know, when I think about that, that's just, who the hell is calling me in the middle of my show? I should really prank these people, but I won't do that. Anyway, guys, I think that's it. I think I got all the calls. We had a lot of calls on this. We're definitely going to do this again. We are definitely going to do this again. The Friday stuff, because I think that obviously you guys enjoyed the chat. So look, enjoy the fights tomorrow. Let's get this outro music going. And I'm still 50-50, but I'm 51 Taylor, 49 Ramirez. And we can't do a fight party tomorrow because I'm working, but Monday show is going to be awesome, right? We're going to have a lot to chop up. So make sure you guys watch Monday over on the Ring Digital channel. And I appreciate you guys. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you at the fights.